Let me take some more examples. This time, say that say point A. I'm sure you can read from the diagram. This is point A. That is on x-axis. You see that it is 2. So x value is 2, y value is 0. Point B. Point B is here. X value is 0. Y value. You see that it is -2. Right. Next point C is here. I see -1, -2. So x value is -2 on y-axis it is 1. Next, coming to point D, it is x is 1 and y is 2. X is 1 and y is 2. Now, the scale factor is given that 1.5. So it's a decimal value. Is it an expansion or reduction? Means if the scale factor is more than 1, so I see that is an expansion. We read it about this one. So here I see that it is 1.5. So obviously it is more than or greater than 1. So in order to get the dilated image, we have to multiply every point with the scale factor, which is 1.5. Therefore, 1.5 times every value you multiply, then you get that 1.5 times 2, that is 3. Make use of calculator if necessary. 1.5 times 0, it's 0. This is our A prime. Coming to the second one, which is B prime, 1.5 times 0 is 0. 1.5 times -2. Actually, 1.5 times 2, that gives you 3. Then it is going to be -3. Then coming to C prime, 1.5 times -2, that gives you -3. Use calculator. 1.5 times 1, just 1.5 only, or 1.5. Next, D prime values, 1.5 times 1, it's same. 1.5 times 2, that gives you 3. Now you have to plot all these points. So let me take my A prime first, which is 3, 0. So this is my A prime. B prime is 0, -3. So 0 is here and -3. Y-axis I have to go down. This is B prime. C prime is -3, 1.5. So -3 means I have to go to the left side on x-axis. So here is -3 and 1.5. That lies between 1 and 2. So this is going to be my C prime approximately. D is 1.5, D prime is 1.5 and 3. So 1.5 means somewhere between 1 and 2. And 3 means, well, so this is going to be D prime. Now, let's join them with a straight edge. I'm joining C prime, D prime first. D prime, A prime, A prime, B prime. Ooh, this is the dilated figure. So here I see that A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. This quadrilateral is 1.5 times of the original one. Let's take another example. Now here the question says that determine whether the dilation from figure A to figure B is an expansion or a contraction, and also find these values of variables. Or else, if you can find the scale factor, then you can figure out the missing values here. Okay. The tricky part in this one is A to B. So A is here and B is here. B is here. Okay. So I see that it is an expansion. A to B is here. I see that it is expanded. How many times means, let's take a number, the corresponding values where both the values are given. So here is 7 and this one is 14. Therefore, there are two ways to solve this one. One is, if you can figure out what is the scale factor condition SIP. So S stands for scale factor, I is image, and P stands for pre-image. It is pre-image. Now, you take one of the sides of, I hope you remember that the original one is the pre-image. Therefore, here pre-image and this one is the final one is the image. So here image, one of the sides of the image means I'm taking 14 here, and next here the pre-image value is 7, so 14 over 7, that gives me 2. Therefore, the original figure is enlarged by 2 times. That's the scale factor. So 2 times means here onwards it's going to be easy. Let me take, suppose if I have to check what is the value of m, then maybe what's the value of n means, you have to take the corresponding values and just multiply. We know that the scale factor is 2, therefore you take times 2. So 8 times 2, that gives me 16, and here times 2, so 10 times 2, that gives me 10 twos are 20. The value of n is 20. Another example here. This is always a little tricky because the question says that determine whether the dilation from A to B. So in the first instance, I thought this is enlarged, but it is not true because we have to take from A to B, not from B to A. So A is here and this one is A to B means I see that the size is reduced. Therefore, this is the case of reduction. So once again, just like the previous question, let me take that scale factor. So you have to be careful which is the original figure. So I see that figure A to figure B means this is original one, or I would say that this is the pre-image. Okay, so this is the pre-image. This is the pre-image, and B is the image. This is the image. Now, scale factor, I told you, you may remember that as SIP. SIP stands for that is scale factor equals to image over pre-image. So the first letters I'm taking, image over pre-image. Again, just I'm giving a quick recap. SIP, you may remember the first letters of the given condition. That is scale factor equals to image over pre-image. So let me take one of the sides of image. So I see X here, I cannot take Y and Z here, and I see that 2 here. So I have to take the corresponding side. So image value is 2 here and pre-image value is 6. So can you divide by any value? So obviously, yes, we can divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2, that gives me 1. 6 divided by 2, that gives me 3, so 1 over 3. So if the value is lying between 0 and 1, then that is the reduction. That's the reduction. So 1/3, it is the given figure is reduced 1/3 times of the original one. So once when you know the scale factor, then you can find out what are the missing values. Like if you want to find x value, then if you want to find y value and z value, once if you know the scale factor, it's very easy to compute. We know that the scale factor is 1 over 3 times, right? So you take times 1 over 3 or 1/3 times of 3. That gives you 1. Therefore, the value of x equals to 1. Next, this one is again 1 over 3 times, 1 over 3 times of 3. That gives me 1 here. So z equals to 1. And next, 1 over 3 times of 6 that gives me the value of y. So you may make use of calculator. 1/3 of 6 equals to 2. Therefore, x equals to, if you have any difficulty or confusion, then I'm going to repeat once again the same thing. I'm going to repeat again the same once again. So here you take 1/3 times of these sides, that gives you x, y, and z values. X equals to 1 over 3 times of the corresponding value. I see that 3 here. So 1 over 3 times 3, that gives me 1. Y equals to 1 over 3 times y. So the corresponding sides are, see that 6. So 1/3 of 6. That gives me 2. Make use of calculator. X and C are the opposite sides of a rectangle. So they're equal, or else you can compute z equals to 1/3 times 3. That gives me 1. So let's go to another example. These questions are pretty easy given the point and its image. So here is the point. The first one is the point, and the image means the result. Okay. So determine the scale factor. Scale factor means 3 times what value gives me 4.5. I see that the number is increased. 3 ones are 3, but there is 4.5. 3 twos are 6, so 4.5 is less than 6. So the scale factor must be between 1 and 1 and 2, right? Or else we have a fair idea that scale factor condition, that is scale factor equals to image over pre-image. Here we don't have length, but we can take then the values of x and y here. So I see that you can take either x value or y value. So image means the final one. Oops, I'm sorry. This is the image. These are okay. Yeah, it's image value, and the first one, this is the pre-image. Point A is pre-image, A prime is the image. So image means I can take either x value or y value. If I'm taking x value, which is 4.5, over pre-image, which is 3, please make use of calculator. You'll end up with 4.5 over 3. That gives me 1.5. You can make use of calculator. Or else the same condition can be used, but this time instead of x, I'm taking y values. Again, image over pre-image. Image means the end result, so here I'm taking 9 over, then y value of pre-image is 6. As I told you before, use calculator 1.5. So if you compute for x value or if you compute for y value, you'll end up with the same result. Let's take the next one. Here, scale factor equals to image SIP. Don't forget image over pre-image. I'm taking x values and checking. So image is 1.5 and pre-image is 3. Pre-image is 3. Then grab the calculator and check how many times. So that gives me 1 over 2. If you want, you may try taking y values and check. Scale factor equals to image over pre-image. So pre-image, so this time I'm taking y values, image value is 3 and corresponding is 6. You can divide by 3 both the values, you'll end up with 1 over 2. So the scale factor is 1 over 2. So that shows that the given figure is a reduction, because between 0 and 1 the scale factor is lying. Now let's go to another example. Already I discussed this kind of question earlier, like point A. So I personally prefer this one. Let me mark it here. A value, then B and C values. So A value is 1 1. You can see on this. B is 1 3. B is 1 3 and C is 5 1. It is 5 1. I see that here the scale factor is 2. Therefore 2 times. So 2 ones are 2. 2 ones are 2. Likewise, you multiply the values of B coordinate. 2 ones are 2. 2 3 6. 2 5 is 10. 2 ones are 2. Okay. Let's plot these points. A is 2 2. So 2 is here, 2 is here. It's going to be A prime. B prime is 2 6. So 1 2. 6 is here. This is going to be B prime. C prime values are 10 2. X is 10. Y is 2. This is going to be C prime. Okay. Well, next, length of AB. My bad, let me take. Okay, length of AB if you are taking. So you can see that I'm counting the number of blocks here. So it is AB is 2 and A prime, B prime, 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. So here it is 4. Okay. Next, BC, it is a diagonal. If you are doing this work on a piece of paper, then you can make use of a straight edge and you can measure the length of BC and B prime, C prime. You know, this is Otherwise, you may have to use a distance formula to measure it. You have to use distance formula, or else if you are doing this problem on a paper, then you can measure the length using a straight edge. So just I'm skipping this one for the time being, BC and B prime, C prime. And I'm going to CA. CA, I see that 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So let's say 4 units. That's the length of AC. And next, A prime, B, C prime length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Therefore, A prime, C prime length is 8. Now, friends, have you noticed that? The length of the line segments, so 2 times 2, that gives me 4, and 4 times 2, that gives me 8. So this is exactly matching with our scale factor. Please look at what the scale factor is. The scale factor is 2, so the line segments are also proportionately increased, that is enlarged. Okay, anyhow, BC and B prime, C prime, I did not measure it as I'm doing on digitally. So else if you do it on paper, you can check it, or else you can use distance formula.